But no, we was like, how the hell y'all get our stuff, but then leave? He had the biggest bag. How y'all get our stuff, leave his stuff in San Francisco, damn near 11 hours away by flight? Hell no. Cool. So your boy just came back from New York. Your boy just came back from New York. We are feeling good, feeling refreshed. We back home in Texas. Um, Monday fun day for y'all once again, but this has been a long, long weekend. But with that, you already know how I does it. Let's deliberate. So first things first, Reddit story time. And this Reddit story time for this week is: what is the best travel experience you've ever had? Making my bucket list and want to know, for those who have traveled a lot, what is your absolute favorite experience you recommend to anyone? First things first, this was sent in by Eddie964. He said, I'm sitting in a cafe, enjoying a late beer with wife after dinner in Barrio Santa Cruz in Seville. A guy walks in with a guitarra, starts playing some flamenco, not performing, just kicking back at a table, playing. A little while later, a girl walks in, sits next to him, starts singing. They're both really, really good. Soon after, another guy with a guitar walks in, and another. The girl produces castanets. A guy is now singing too. They're stomping their feet and clapping their hands to the rhythm. A maddening tempo. The beer and wine are cheap. Alright? And the more they drink, the more the intensity level keeps going up and up and up and to the roof. The city's professional flamenco performers go to unwind after performing for tourists at $50 a head. I got to enjoy the best flamenco I've ever heard, by far, for free, in an open air cafe with jasmine scented breezes blowing in from the outside. It was absolutely magical. And there we have it, you guys. Look, go out, travel, travel, dog. I feel like if you're from Texas, you need to travel, dog. If you're from any part of Texas, get out, get out this state country, low key, because it's not all it's cracked up to be. You get to see other cultures. We have a whole like population of basically like Hispanics and white people and black people. That's really it. That's really it. Get out there, go travel. We have another one sent in from Left Garden 345. They said they went to Mongolia, stayed with nomadic yak herders / eagle hunters in their yurts in the mountains of the Kazakh region, Bayan Olgi. See, that's another reason why you need to travel, because I don't know what any of that shit is. What the fuck is Bayan Olgi? Anyways, we got another one from Straw Hat Goofy. He said, me and my partner at the time were stranded in the Himalayas in India since our bike had broken down. The gear we packed had no chance against that kind of cold. We stopped in a very remote area, but found a group of about 10 men living in tents. They gave us sleeping bags and jackets and fed us, and we drank homemade absinthe and smoked hash and played Uno for 3 days straight with a bunch of men Played Uno for 3 days straight with a bunch of men who barely understood English. It was the most surreal moment. We call them the Mountain Men now, and I think about them all the time. Not sure what we would have done without them. Not an experience I can recommend as it's a once in a lifetime, but point is, some of your best travel moments will be the unexpected and unplanned. The journey is the adventure. I'm gonna tell you right now, dog. The type of traveler I am is I just want to vibe. I just want to vibe. I just want to see where the night, like after I get done with the things that I planned. I just want to see where the night takes me. I just want to see where the day takes me. I'm gonna tell you right now, some of my best stories have come from just seeing Wagwan, with the city, with the locals. Shoot, me and my friends, and the infamous Hawaii story. I know I keep saying it, but one day I'm really gonna like tell it. I'm gonna tell it in parts because it's a long ass story, dog. But I tell you for free, day one. What did we do day one? Day one was more just like more tourist stuff. Like we didn't really do a whole bunch. I think day one we actually one of our homeboys, he didn't even have his luggage didn't even come in from the airport. They had it was three of us. Me and my boy Johnny, we got our stuff. They didn't mess up at all. We had a layover in San Francisco. From San Francisco to Hawaii, our luggage was golden. My boy Tito, man, they left his stuff back in San Francisco. Then gonna try and be like, oh, we don't know what happened. Like, nah, bro. They had to reimburse him. They had to reimburse him for the luggage because for like whatever he spent. But nah, we was like, how the hell y'all get our stuff, but then leave? He had the biggest bag. How y'all get our stuff, leave his stuff in San Francisco, damn near 11 hours away by flight? Hell no. But it ended up working out. But we just did a whole bunch of tourist stuff. We did some snorkeling, saw some sea turtles. You feel me? They said don't touch it, you'll get fined $10,000. We said cool. We're not gonna try, y'all. I don't know how the Kanaka is it Kanaka for Hawaii natives? We don't know how the Kanaka get down, but I tell you right now, we wasn't finna try them. So yeah, but travel, dog. And then we have one from Impossible Gas 2497. He said Denali, Alaska might be the most beautiful area I've ever been in. Very fun trip. I want to go to Alaska just to see Aurora Borealis, the Northern Lights. I know it's pretty. I might just go by myself, low key. But with that being said, thank y'all for joining me for another episode of the Your Story podcast with yours truly, Rodney J. Salter. If the applause track isn't going already, it should be going now. Go ahead, do yourself a favor. All right? And with that, I'm going to end the applause track. Do yourself a favor. If you're viewing this on YouTube, you can see the NYPD hat because I got a story time before y'all just came back from New York. If you can see the NYPD hat, that lets me know that you're on YouTube. Go ahead and do yourself a favor, like, subscribe, share, do all those things you know to do. Leave a comment, do all those things you know to do in the YouTube space at your own discretion at this point. At your own discretion at this point. If you are able to hear the smooth, sultry gulps, hold on, I got you. The smooth, sultry gulps of my soothing voice, that means that you are listening to me on Spotify. Go ahead and do me a favor. Do yourself a favor, my fault. Um, what can you do on Spotify? Follow, leave a rating, 5 stars preferable, and that's it. I'm not 5 stars preferable. And then you can also share, I believe, as well. Do all those things you know to do on the Spotify space because quite literally, there's nothing else to do. You clicked on it for a reason, right? Cool. Cool. You got me? You got me. Let's deliberate. So, as I said, Monday Fun Day. I'm glad that you were able to join me for a 45 lunch break. Jesus, my eyes hurt. A 45-minute lunch break. I'm not going to take up too much of your time because, once again, I just got back from a long trip. Your boy's tired. And the crazy part is I got back in town yesterday. Dog. I've been asleep all day. Traveling is fun, but man, is it draining. But as I was saying, so I got to dive into this Hawaii trip because it was the first time that I've flown. One, it was the first time that I've flown as an adult, right? As an adult. It was the first time that I flew as an adult, and it was the first time that I've flown or traveled anywhere, any state, um, without like my parents or anything, without my mom, my family, whatever the case may be. So I was looking forward to it. So as I said, we get there, right? We left on like a Thursday, coming out of Bergstrom, Austin International Airport, right? That portion, the TSA check, everything was cool, right? And TSA agents, y'all mean as hell, bro. I don't get it. Y'all aggressive, dog. Them departure people who be like, yo, keep it move, like when you're picking up your bag or like getting dropped off, and they be like, yo, keep it moving with the whistle and stuff. Give a nigga a whistle, he turned into a fucking jail guard all of a sudden. Like he turned into a corrections officer for some reason. Give a nigga a whistle and a yellow vest. he think he boss man. Anyways. So, but that portion of the trip was fire, right? Not fire, but fine. So we're traveling overseas, right? 11-hour flight. We have a layover in San Fran, and then we go from San Fran to Hawaii International, right? Down in, I think we were in Waikiki at the moment, right? So Land in Waikiki after 11 hours. If you're going over to Hawaii, we traveled at night. We're going over to Hawaii. Once you pass the mainland, it's just ocean for time. I was like, bro, if we die, we're done. It's just ocean for like 8+ hours, just dark. So I'm like, we're done. We get over to Hawaii International, Waikiki International. I think it was Waikiki. I'm not sure. We get over, right? Get our rental car, go to the hotel. Day one, all right? Day one, Thursday night, we said we outside. So we go drinking. We hit up these different clubs, right? I think we what do we have planned? I think just day one we just had food planned because it was coming up on my friend Tito's birthday. So I think day one we was just like we're just gonna do food and sightseeing. So he was like, cool, we'll do that. Hit down Waikiki, like the Waikiki like strip, and we just seeing people galore, right? So that's day one, Thursday night, 8 p.m. on. We're just drinking, laughing, having fun. Day two rolls around, and it's my friend Tito's birthday. So we're like, look, we're doing everything. We did, what did we do? We did submarine. We went to go see the Titanic. Face ass. No, we went to go see like some underwater records or something. That let me know when I come into some money, it's $250,000 worth, bro. I'm not going to go see no Titanic, dog. That little submarine trip was 100 feet minimum, maximum probably 100 feet like underwater. You couldn't pay me to go see no goddamn nah. You couldn't pay me to go below 100 feet. I was ready to die. That little submarine trip sucked for me, but also we got to see a whole bunch of fishes and a whole bunch of like reefs and stuff. So I was like, it's kind of cool. But I was like, get me out of here, bro. I don't do water trips like events at all. I get nauseous. I'm done with that. But we did that little submarine on. We did snorkeling. You feel me? Got to see some turtles. You got to see the turtles. And they was cool. It was big, bro. It was big as fuck. Like huge. I didn't. You go to these places. You see these animals in zoos and stuff, or on video online, and you don't think that they're as big as they use. As people say they are. Them sea turtles was huge, dog. It didn't make no goddamn sense. You tell it, and then they're talking about something. If you touch it, you get fined. I'm not touching that. I'm not touching that. That thing will snap your freaking hands off. I'm good. But we saw that. We did parasailing. I actually lost a hat. I think day two, we went parasailing, right? And they didn't tell me, keep your belongings on the boat. Because if you take anything that's able to be caught by the wind, it will be caught, you will lose it. So I had a Converse like tie-dye hat. Dope as shit. To this day, I haven't found another one. Converse tie-dye hat that I got from Journeys. They strapped us in, right? They strapped us in. They was like, all right, we're gonna count y'all down. 3, 2, 1, and then we're gonna peel off. It's just the wind is just gonna take you. So they strap us in, and then they peel off, and the wind just you feel me? So we like, yeah, taking videos with this, that, and the third, taking videos and whatnot. My boy Johnny's taking videos, my boy Tito's taking videos. And then all of a sudden, hat flies off. And people, the crazy part is the people on the boat, we came like a group. The people on the boat can see everything that's happening. They saw my hat gone. I look back, I'm like, I'm glad I had a haircut, bro. Cause I'm like, I'm out here bald damn near. So that's gone. We get back, they like, yo, bro, we saw your hat fly away. I'm sorry about that. I'm like, man, it was like $10, $15. I'm not tripping off that. But lost my hat in Hawaii, right? And then, what did we do? We did a lot, bro. So we did so much. One day I'm gonna just have to like really sit down with it. But I tell you what, day 3, it's either day 2 or day 3. Hungover. That's gonna have a separate hungover. It's gonna be the hangover story. Dave Chappelle, bro. I'm not watching no more of your specials. You a funny dude, but you got us messed up. You got the ambulance called on us, bro. So not watching no more of that. But yeah, that was a fun time. But travel for real, travel, because you got to. We got to see. What else do we do on our way back to the airport? On our way back to the airport, we got stopped by the Navy. We got stopped by the Navy. We somehow ended up at a naval base. We somehow ended up at a naval base, and they were like, "Fuck is y'all out of towners doing here, bro?" So know where you're going, dog. We did too much stuff. We did some of it illegal. So obviously that has to have its own like discretion, because some of not illegal, but like viewer discretion advised. That and the Hangover story will probably be in its own thing. But um, but all that to say, yes, travel, get out of your hometown. Like we was homesick for real, especially during this latest travel. But like, go. You feel me? Go see what the world has to offer. People who are like, oh, I don't want to leave, I don't want to do this. I'm like, bro, you're in an echo chamber. You're in an echo chamber, and you don't have to be. The world has so many things to offer. And it's like, I get it if you're like, oh, I'm scared. This might happen. This might happen. People were like, don't go to NYC because it's aggressive and it's dangerous. And I'm like, yeah, but like at the same time, it's like, how you gonna know if you don't go? And I'm pretty sure there's certain parts of different states and stuff that you're just not supposed to frequent. Bronx is one of them. Yes, in Hawaii, we was in the tourist spot. We was in Waikiki. Like, we didn't go nowhere that warranted like, oh, we need to look over our shoulder type shit. So it's like, you just know where you're gonna go, know where you're gonna be at, and then you won't have to, you won't have to really look over your shoulder and shoulder and just have a good time. See what life has to offer. We saw so many like we saw Colombians, we saw Italians, we met up with like people from China, people from we had this one Uber driver from I don't even know, bro. He wasn't from no place in China that I'd ever heard of. So, but like people from China, people from Japan, people from straight from Spain, from the motherland of Spain, like different people, bro, and would have never experienced that. Nigga, they're not coming to Texas. Ain't not a single Italian coming to Texas, bro. No, ain't no. For what? For what? Ain't a single. No, we went to Little Italy. We went to like ain't no. They not coming over here because they don't need to. What the hell are y'all doing all the way over here, bro? Being from Texas, bro. If I see anybody from Maryland, I'm already like, what the hell are you doing over here? So let alone if I hear somebody from Italia, Italy, Spain, France, we was bro. I was hearing French accents, and I was damn near in love at the 9/11 museum. Some girl bust out her French accent. Some girl bust out her French. I was like, you trying to get married here? But anyways, back to the creepypasta. So the title is, My Friend Moved to a Town Where People Aren't Allowed to Take Photos. I Met the Mayor. This is part 2. So hold on, let me start that over. So in this creepypasta, right? This little story time, I went to a town, my friend moved to a town, can't take pictures, this, that, right? In this creepypasta, we've met Bryce, right? The friend. And the girl that came over, she's taking a picture. Right? She just quick little selfie ting, right? Snapped a picture. Bro in the background dropped his whole mug. He was like, you can't do that here. Okay. Some random guy pulled up on them within the next 10 minutes and was like, where's homegirl? I saw y'all took a picture. Where's homegirl, right? Bryce had to basically shoo him off. Bryce had to basically shoo him off, right? And then afterwards, after he shooed bro off, an ambulance pulls up. Drops a body off, and then dips out, right? Homegirl calls 911. She's like, somebody just dropped off a body. What's going on? And they was like, did y'all take a picture? Basically, he's like, did y'all take a picture? Did y'all get caught? And she hung up immediately. Okay, and then Somebody he works for these people, Bryce. So somebody comes to the door, knocks, right? He tells homegirl to hide. Comes to the door, is like, yo, the mayor wants you and her, right? Again, she's hiding. He's like, the mayor wants you. Bring old girl too. So yeah. So now I think they're about to go see the mayor. Whatever the case, he tells her. Bryce tells the friend, he's like, stay here. I'll be back. And here we're going. And this is where it picks up. So imposter Bryce, as I've penned him, stuck around for a couple of hours before shuffling off to God knows where. Once he was gone, I took refuge in the bedroom that looked the least worn and tried my best to get some shut eye. Needless to say, I slept like the opposite of a baby. Ambulance sirens sung throughout the night. Occasional sounds of shuffling in the backyard. Bushes rang in my ear. Struggling to fall asleep, I got up to look out the window. Bedroom. Bedroom window. Jesus Lord. Outside, the street was empty, save for a man a block away hugging a lamppost and looking right up at me. Fucking hell. The night and my attempts to rest became a blurry half awake, half asleep haze. Eventually, the sound of knocking at the front door interrupted my drowsy nap. I left the bedroom, approached the sound, and looked through the door's peephole, expecting some horrifying sight or nightmarish creature. It was Bryce. He was flashing the same hand signal we'd agreed upon earlier. After a minute of gearing up, I assessed the bravery needed to open the door. He entered, and to my great relief, didn't shapeshift into a warlock and rip my face off. Cool of him. He didn't say much, not even a hello. His face wore misery, and his weird, culty snuggie outfit had splatters of blood on it. He depressingly sauntered to his room, mumbling incoherently under his breath. Huh? Weirdly, having him home now was enough to temporarily override the PTSD I was feeling from the last 24 hours of mindfuck. I went back to the room, and within minutes, I was lights out. When I woke up, it felt like I'd emerged from the best sleep I'd ever had, to the point that it took me a good 20 seconds to remember exactly where I was, and for the misery to creep in. I looked at the clock and saw that the time was only 7:15 a.m. I was flabbergasted. No way that was only an hour of sleep. I entered the dining room. Bryce was already breakfast ready. Plates were set out on the table. Does time work differently here? I asked, taking a seat. Bryce sized up my outfit. I was still wearing my clothes from yesterday. I should have remembered to lend you some PJs. My bad. I grabbed a fork full of scrambled eggs. I was hoping he'd start curbing his habit of avoiding my questions. I took a bite. Not bad. Time, he ruminated. Not sure. There's enough weird stuff happening here that I don't really dwell on it. Fair enough, I said. So, I was instructed to bring you with me to today's job. I almost spat egg all over the table. Bring me? Me explicitly? Yep. He turned his phone around and leaned across the table to show me. Well, I'll be. There it was, wrapped in a gray bubble. The most recent text in the thread. This morning, you will visit the Parker Group building and audit their operations. Bring Rosalind Beckett with you. My name is crazy. My first and last government is crazy. I sighed. I assume I have to come, because not following rules here is a bad idea. He shot me ungracefully with his finger guns. You're catching on, friendo. I decided not to protest. After yesterday's shenanigans, it was probably best I follow Bryce's lead. We promptly finished up breakfast. Bryce basically made a beeline to his car in the driveway after. Dude took his job seriously. Excuse me. I joined him outside, half afraid that a banshee would jump out of the bushes or something. But things were relatively tame, actually. The only thing out of the ordinary was a gathering taking place in the Victorian mansion across the street from us. Through the window, I noticed a gallery of well-dressed socialites, all sitting in a circle and reading a book together. A book club at this hour? I rode shotgun in Bryce's Audi. When the fuck did he get an Audi? As he drove us to the skyscrapers in the town center. So, what's the escape plan? I asked. I've always been particularly shit at small talk. I'm sorry? I'm assuming everyone in the town is trying to get the fuck out of Dodge. What's the strategy? Friendly reminder that your head gets pulverized if you try to escape, Rose. Or did you already forget about yesterday? Yeah, but isn't anyone theory crafting? Figuring out some way to break from this hellscape? Ha! I think we're all still in the learning how to not die phase of things, he replied. Disappointing. Is it only going to take me a few days to become just as resigned to things as Bryce is? I distracted myself from the melancholy. Is it melancholy or melancholy? I forget how to pronounce that. I'm sticking with melancholy. By carefully eyeing the buildings we drove past. Library, convenience store, sex shop, convenience store, auto parts, convenience store, steakhouse, convenience store. This place is fucking weird. So, I said, you ever been to this building before? Nope. Uh-huh. And what about auditing? Is that a thing you do regularly? First time. But you know what to do, right? Yep. I was given clear directions. Go inside, tell them why we're visiting, let them explain what they do, let them take us where they need to take us. If anyone has any concerns, we say that we're friends of Meredith Lane. Right. And who is Meredith Lane? No clue, he said. Oh, right. Another rule. Avoid small talk with the employees. We closed in on the high rises. Bryce slowed to find parking. We stepped out of the car, the looming buildings ahead. We walked under the protective canopy. As stone pillars framed our path, I noticed groups of people lurking behind the columns, peeking their heads out, most glaring, most smiling. Bryce, I'm kind of scared. Don't worry about them. They won't do anything. Okay. We reached the entrance. The motion sensor sliding doors parted gracefully, inviting us in. We crossed into the lobby. A very sharp-dressed greeter approached us. Why, hello there, sir. And look, you brought company. Here for an audit, Bryce said briskly. Yes, of course. The folks up on 9 were expecting you. Great. We'll be on our way. Bryce, all business, walked to the elevator and pressed the button to call. He stared at a framed picture hung on the wall between the lifts. It was a portrait of a stunning luxury car. God, that is a sweet ride, he said. Ding! The elevator arrived. We slipped into the steel box, and Bryce pressed the button for the 9th floor. As it went up, I mean, this isn't too bad. You always wanted to work in a fancy tech office, right? I asked. Yeah, I guess I did. Just took getting trapped in this freaky town for that dream to pan out, huh? I laughed. A little glimmer of our buddy cop dynamic was back, albeit under non-ideal circumstances. He pulled out his phone, seemingly to check the text thread he had with his boss. All right, so recap on the rules. If anyone asks, friends of Meredith Lane. Meredith Lane, I echoed. We'll explore, ask the folks what they do, go wherever they ask us to, we'll take notes, we won't make small talk with them. Pretty simple. Got it. I nodded. The lift trembled momentarily as it settled onto the 9th floor. Then the doors opened. We emerged onto a floor that had pretty tacky looking decor. I have to say, it looked dated, unbecoming of the prestigious looking building it was housed in. We sauntered down the hallway, flanked by boardrooms on both sides. It sounded like busy meetings were underway. Bryce entered one of the rooms, seemingly at random. I trailed behind. Inside, a group of gentlemen, all dressed in pristine white shirts, black ties, and sharp dress pants, sat around an aged mahogany table. Looks like they all got the dress memo for today. They momentarily paused their discussion, looking up at us with puzzled stares. Here for the audit, Bryce announced curtly. Carry on. Bryce produced a small notebook and pen out of his coat pocket and began jotting down notes. The professionals hesitated briefly before resuming their conversation. So as I was saying, one of the men said, we finished the design for the next convenience store. What's up with these Dollar Generals, dog? Seriously, what's up with these Dollar Generals in Texas, bro? It's a Dollar General in literally nowhere. The middle of nowhere. everywhere. Doesn't make any sense. You can be driving down, this is a brief pause. You could be driving down 30, not 35, because, no. You could be driving down 71, right? 290 going towards, you can be driving down 290 going towards freaking Elgin, LaGrange. Nothing. Just land galore. But all of a sudden, within like 15 miles, Dollar General. Like, what? Dollar General got a crazy bag. And they only build in desolate wastelands. Anyways, we finished the design for the next convenience store. Murmured nods and hmms echoed around the table. We need a clear, open road leading to the convenience store, another contributed. No congestion whatsoever. I'll oversee that. This is Texas. Hold on. Again, a chorus of agreement from the room. And what about blood? Another man interjected. Heads turned in his direction. If there's a significant amount of blood outside the convenience store, he seemingly clarified, we'll need assistance to manage it. The pattern continued. Murmurs of affirmation shared between the employees. I had to ask myself, what in the ever-loving fuck were they talking about? Yet, my confusion went unshared. Bryce continued to scribble in his notebook, unfazed. I wondered if Bryce noticed the man seated at the end of the table, blood pouring from his eyes onto his fancy shirt. The man with the disturbing smile, who kept whispering incessantly, blood outside the convenience store, blood outside the convenience store. Thankfully, or maybe regrettably, Bryce seemed oblivious to him. Finishing his note-taking, he left the room, and I followed. We proceeded down the hallway. Seriously, how the fuck does this place not wig you out? That's simple, he replied. I'm desensitized. I am now fully dead inside. Great. We approached the kitchen at the end of the corridor. As we did, the clack of a foosball game filled our ears. We stepped inside to see two players, momentarily distracted, stopping to turn their gaze towards us. Nearby, a man pouring half and half into his coffee froze as he clocked our entrance. You're, he started. Here for an audit, Bryce cut in. Their eyes remained fixed on us, silent and questioning. We're friends of Meredith Lane, Bryce clarified. Slowly, the strangers chuckled, their laugh gradually escalating into a roar. Yeah, right, friends with Meredith Lane, said one. Yeah, you hate her, chimed another. You despise her, the man with the coffee creamer tagged. What are they on about? I whispered out the side of my mouth to Bryce. No. He did it like this. What are they on about? Don't overthink it. Nothing here makes any sense, he murmured. He stepped forward. All right, that's enough joking around. Why don't you all tell me a bit about what you do? After a brief silence, the coffee man was the first to speak. I'm a firefighter, sir. A firefighter working in a skyscraper? Right. The woman at the foosball table spoke next. I'm an ambulance driver. She noticed the look of fright on my face and clarified. Don't worry, dear. I only drive. A wry smile crept up on the face of the man on the other side of the foosball table. I'm a police officer. Occasionally, a 911 operator, too. I gulped and tried my best to play it cool. I looked away, pretending I was admiring the decor in the room. Bryce, doing his part, eagerly scribbled into his notebook. He lifted his head when he was done. Great! Anything you'd like to show us? The foosball playing officer crept closer. Friends with Meredith Lane, hey? Yep, replied Bryce. Would you like to see her? Sure. The officer led the way, opening a door to reveal another expensive hallway. We trailed closely behind. The trek was longer than I expected. With each step, the white walls of the building started blistering and peeling. Deeper down the path, the overhead lights were now swaying and broken, casting red shadows onto the wall. Through the damp and moldy, we approached the end of this now dark corridor, reaching a heavy iron door that creaked slightly open. Blood-curdling shrieks could be heard from inside. Our guide to this destination nodded, then turned to leave. "Have fun," he called out, retracing his steps and disappearing down the hall. Bryce stepped through the door first. I trepidatiously tiptoed behind him. "It's a word for your ass." The screaming stopped the second we entered. The smell of coal and old machinery assaulted my senses as I eyed what I knew to be the likely source of the screams. It was a woman. She was tied to a chair with metal chains. Her body looked contorted, twisted, bloody, broken in ways that a person couldn't be. Bones visibly protruded from open wounds all around her. Jagged metal jutted from her chest, neck, and legs. Something about her form didn't make any sense. A man in a thick cloak was crouched beside the woman. "Meredith, it looks like you have some visitors." My face betrayed my attempt to pretend any of this was normal. I couldn't even. My mouth betrayed that sentence. Side-eyeing Bryce, he didn't look so great either. The man in front of us remained focused on the chained being. "What do we say when we have visitors, Meredith?" A strained, croaky, empty voice left the woman. "We say hello," she gargled, barely. Bryce pulled out his notebook. "Here for an audit. Can you explain what you do?" "Really, Bryce? Still just fucking business about all this?" The crouched man tilted his head to address us. "Of course. As you can see, I manage Meredith Lane. Let me demonstrate." He placed a hand on what was left of Meredith's shoulder. "Meredith, is your leg broken?" "No. No, my leg is fine," she said, spitting blood between labored breaths. Um, her leg was most certainly broken. Thrice broken, in fact. The least leg-looking leg I'd ever seen. "Is your chest impaled?" he asked. "No, my chest is not impaled," she groaned. A giant piece of metal poked out from her ribs. "But sure, let's gaslight the poor woman." "Is your mouth full of blood? Are you choking?" She struggled to speak again. Blood pooled as the words left her mouth. "No." "And here's the best one," he said, enthusiastically turning to us before asking his final question. "Meredith, are you alive?" It took her longer to respond to this one. She lifted her neck ever so slightly to look at us. Clearly she was in hell. But there was something else in her gaze, too. Sorrow, wistfulness, regret. "I'm alive," she said, quite lucidly. The cloaked man stood up from his crouch, exceedingly cheerful now. "Isn't that something?" he proclaimed. Bryce just scratched into his notebook. He didn't say a word. I, on the other hand, was mortified. I had just about reached my threshold. I was seconds from puking. I softly stepped back, exiting the room through the iron door for a much-needed reprieve. Bryce didn't seem to notice. Thank God. Back out in the hallway, I noticed a rather nervous-looking man pacing back and forth. After a moment, he came up to me. "How are you holding up?" he asked. I stuck to the rules. "I'm here for an audit." He looked disappointed. "Of course you are. Let me guess. No photos, no small talk. Friends with Meredith Lane." "Huh?" "Nah. I wasn't falling for it. That's right. I am friends with Meredith Lane. That is why I'm here." I enunciated clearly, speaking slowly and thoroughly as one usually does when they're lying. He scratched his head, then turned to leave. He looked back at me once more before doing so. "You know, just once I wish I could talk to someone who found all this shit as horrifying as I do." I pursed my lips. "Fuck it," he said. "I'll figure some way out of this nightmare. Fucking talking to emotionless robots all day," he murmured, walking off. "God damn it." "Wait!" I called out. He stopped, then turned. "Let's talk," I said as quietly as I could. He stepped back towards me. He came with an air of nervous desperation. "Holy shit, an actual conversation," he said. "Look, not sure how much time we have, but I have a working theory about this place that I think might piece everything together. Spill. He leaned into my ear and whispered. He didn't want anyone else to hear this. Sweetheart, you know you're not supposed to break the rules. He gripped my neck with one of his hands and covered my mouth with the other. We have to follow the rules. I struggled to get away, but he was much more powerful than he looked. Without them, we, I could feel my breath disappearing. This is how I die, isn't it? He squeezed down on my larynx with all of his might. What a stupid fucking way to die. But then, the pressure released. I gasped for breath as the attacker staggered backwards. I guess not. My assailant was recoiling in horror at the sight of Bryce? Emerging from the boiler room, Bryce quickly moved to support me, preventing me from collapsing to the floor. The man backpedaled to his feet and fled down the corridor. Bryce took a step as if to chase him, then hesitated and turned back to me. Fucking hell, are you okay? Bryce asked with concern. No, not really, I said, coughing. I'm sorry, I'm a fucking dunce. Bryce squeezed my hand reassuringly. You're okay. You'll settle in with time. As I gathered my bearings, I heard Bryce's phone buzz again. He checked the text. Guess our job's done for today, he said. We can go home now. I didn't let go of his hand as we walked down the corridor. How'd you scare that dude away? Once you've been here long enough, you find a way to maneuver the danger. We took the elevator down. Once we were in the lobby, we made a beeline for the exit. Just as we stepped through the sliding doors to the outside, I heard the greeter call from behind. Please visit us again when you get the chance, Mr. Mayor. Bryce visibly winced at the greeter's call. Mr. Mayor, I asked him, you're the mayor of this place? He shrugged it off as we walked to the car. It's just the job they gave me. We can chat more about it later. The drive home was quiet. Between Bryce's surprise role as mayor and the strange midnight job from last night, a swirl of confusion settled in my stomach. Still, riding shotgun with him, I felt safer than I would have without him. But one thing was clear now, more than before. We couldn't stay here. I needed to find a way out for us. Fuck. All right. All right. That was part two. Last I have is some Instagram tweets. Instagram little thingamabobbers. Because, bro, as I said, I went to New York. And when you're in New York, you do as the New Yorkers do. So I have my puffer on, you feel me? I don't have it now because I'm in Texas. I have my puffer on, you feel me? I didn't have no Timbs, but I had to bring the black Air Forces out because I'm on DT, nigga. BT, nigga. So I had to bring out the black forces. My bro brought out his Timbs. We had the puffer on. No Nike Tech because no, that shit is OD. But when you're in New York, you do as New York do. We was walking hella fast, you know. We had to know where we was going because they said don't stand in the middle because you will get bumped. I wish a nigga would bump me. But anyways, we got some, what do they call it, like Instagram memes? Because yeah, like I said, we was in New York. So first one's first. New York females are niggas. She picked me up, smoked me up, bought me food, and rode around playing Fabio loud, looked at me and said, come over here. Man, New York females are so aggressive. So we was at the airport. Headed back to Austin, right? We was at JFK. Funny enough, we was at JFK and we was in Brooklyn. Somebody said, why didn't y'all just come from LaGuardia? Look, I don't know. Anyways, so we was at the airport, right? Walking, trying to get some food. Tell me why one of these girls was like, they was one of the like, I don't know if she was TSA or what she was. She just worked at the airport. She was like, man, I hate this fucking job. As she was doing her hair and peeled off, me and my bro was like, y'all aggressive as hell, dog. The conversations y'all be having, bro, in New York, y'all really just be going off on everybody on phone. Something, man, y'all funny as hell. This one says, New York mosquitoes pull your socks down and say, run your pockets. We didn't see no mosquitoes, but we saw one of these like big ass like displays. I'm gonna put a picture in there. We saw one of these big ass displays at the 9/11 museum. Man, hell no. How New Yorkers say it's cold. Oh nah. It was freezing, dog. So funny enough, being from Texas, bro, like our temperatures don't get below like 60 usually, right? Unless it's like January, February, and then that's when it gets like 28 degrees for some fucking reason. Fuck global warming. But so the first 2 days we was there. It was Thursday. We was there Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then Sunday morning, right? So the first 2 days we was there, calm, right? It was so calm. Like it was like 60 degrees, like light. We could have worn like a crew neck and then been good. Come Saturday, it had dropped to like 40, maybe 38 degrees with wind chill. Boy, I was ready to fight everybody. And I had wore a flannel because the prior 2 days it was cool. It wasn't brick, as y'all say in New York. It wasn't nothing. Man, come Saturday, it was like 40 degrees. I was like, bro, if y'all don't stop talking to me, dog. This one says, ain't nothing scarier than who face the train door and start rapping out loud. Facts. Tell me why we was trying to catch the F train to Manhattan. I don't remember how them trains work. We were trying to catch some train to Manhattan, and we was just looking off, right? This one dude, and to this day I remember that face vividly. This one dude, as the train is coming up on the station, bro. This one dude is just look. Oh my god! Hold on, I gotta give y'all the real experience. This one dude was just looking out the train door like this, looking at us. So as the train is going, as the train is going, he's looking at us the whole time, bruh. Scary as shit. He had to have been some African, bro. And I don't. That's not like, but he didn't look like nigga up. He didn't look like black American. He looked like he was from somewhere else, bro. I was like, this is scary, dog. All right, somebody said if you not from New York but use New York slang, that's plagiarism. You gotta drop an APA citation. Example, as I just said, facts from New York nigga 2005. Wait, somebody said this goes for everyone who keeps stealing my catchphrases with no credit. This one says, I got New York feet. If my GPS tell me it takes 10 minutes to walk somewhere, I'll be there in 6. And I made a bodega stop. I'll tell you one thing, bro. Y'all's delis is fire. I got a bacon, egg, and cheese. Word to my mother. I'm just playing. But no, for real, that shit is fire, bro. Some of y'all food is fire. Y'all hot dogs ain't really hitting on nothing, and they should be $5 for shit. It shouldn't be $5 for a hot dog, bro. What are you on? But y'all's lamb over rice, bro. Fire. I had that twice. Fire, dog. Fire. No New Yorker has all three: cheap rent, a washer dryer unit, and their sanity. Y'all's rent prices. The boss and the guy who took us from the Uber from JFK to our hotel, he said one of them little monopoly homes, dog. Y'all's homes is small. One of them little monopoly homes was going for like $500,000. I was like, you out your fucking mind. You know how much land that could get you down south? You know how much land that could get you down, not in Austin, but everywhere else. You know how much property that could get you down here, bro. You be living like a king down here. Y'all people from New York, just get your money up down there, then move down here, dog. Don't move to Austin. Actually, just don't. Actually, stay up there. Stay up there. Struggle down there. There is a minimum speed limit when walking in NYC. Speed limit, move out the way. Y'all don't play, dog. Now, when I first got there, y'all wasn't really outside for real. Here's my complaints, right, with New York. When I got there, y'all wasn't really outside. Y'all have certain areas where traffic is like OD. Times Square, nothing but tourists. Foot traffic is OD, dog. But we was out there in Queens. Y'all wasn't really outside for real. We was in Corona Queens though, so I don't know. Y'all wasn't really outside. And then where else we go to? We didn't hit like the other spots, but like we definitely didn't go to the Bronx. Everybody was like, "Don't go to Bronx, don't go to Bronx, don't go to Bronx." We was like, "All right, heard you." But yeah, y'all foot traffic crazy. The line to MoMA 3 blocks of people. I was like, y'all can miss me with that shit. Being a New Yorker is your phone saying it's an 8-minute walk, but knowing you could do it in 5. Y'all niggas walk. Y'all walk with a purpose, bro. And don't be going nowhere. Just y'all just walk fast. Everybody walk fast. And we'll bump in. They wasn't bumping into me, but they will bump in. I was bumping into people, low key. I was bumping into everybody and wasn't saying my bad. I was just like, keep it pushing, bro. You gotta act like you from there. Anyways, in New York, we don't ask for a lighter. We flick an invisible one till you hand it over. Y'all funny out there. Y'all funny out there, bro. I'm from New York City, where people ask how you doing and walk away before you can answer. Bro, what was blowing me was the fact that like we would say thank you and couldn't get a you're welcome for nothing from nobody. Not an Uber driver was saying you're welcome. Not the hospitality in the hotel was saying you're welcome. Nobody's saying y'all have no sense of hospitality down there, bro. Nothing. Y'all barely say thank you. Crazy. Culture shock, bro. Culture shock. And the last one I got, when it rains in New York City, niggas look up at the sky and yell, "Are you dead ass?" I loved it in New York. I'm not gonna lie, I loved it in New York. Y'all's food is pretty fire. Y'all's tourist sites obviously is pretty fire. This hat, I couldn't find it. Okay, so I couldn't find a strap back, but I found a Velcro, which we're just gonna have to do. But yeah, y'all don't say you're welcome for nothing. Y'all's hospitality is fucking trash. And that's on everything I love. Y'all hospitality is fucking trash. Y'all's foot traffic is abysmal. Y'all niggas walk fast for everything. And it's a lot of y'all for no fucking reason. But y'all is like a melting pot of cultures, bro. Everybody's there. Everybody's there. Also, y'all honk for everything. Y'all stay on y'all horn for nothing. Y'all city's loud and it's just full of motherfuckers just on their horn. And I came to a conclusion. Y'all stay on y'all horn because y'all don't have a fear of getting shot in traffic. Y'all couldn't do that shit down here. Because everybody down here is on timing for no reason. Everybody down here in Texas is on, not Austin, Texas, but anywhere else in Texas. You cannot go to Dallas with that type of energy, bro. You definitely can't go to Houston with that type of energy. Y'all stay on honk timing, but y'all don't have a fear of getting shot. That's really what it is. Y'all don't really got a fear of nobody hopping out the car on y'all asses, unless you go to certain parts of New York. But where we was, Brooklyn, y'all stay on y'all horn, bruh. Stay on y'all horn. Y'all don't have a fear of getting pressed. Call it a luxury. I don't know. But we had a great time regardless. Anyways, with that being said, thank you for joining me for another episode. Do your affirmations, people, especially if you in New York, because y'all fucking need them. You was kind, you was special, you was important. All love on the Southern Front. Thank you for deliberating with me. Have a great Monday. I know this episode came out at, I don't know, 3 o'clock, whatever the case may be. Have a great Monday. It's been a treat. New York till next time. Hawaii till next time. I got other spots I gotta visit, and I'm gonna have my energy for it regardless. But New York was a blast. 10 out of 10 trip. We'll do again. For sure, we'll do again. But yeah, peace.